天地生人这样心，因好贫富这分明，人间出有几样景，大家听我说原因。
This is our grandpa. We call him Ye Ye.
Ye Ye was originally from Nan'an in Fujian province. Together with his cousin, they left home for Singapore to escape a civil war.
And that's our grandma, or we call her Ama.
Born in Chaozhou, China, Ama was sold by her birth parents to a Singaporean family. In name, she was adopted.
But in reality, she was treated like a servant. In 1954, matchmakers introduced Ye Ye to Ama, and with the approval of the elders, they tied the knot. They hadn't known each other for long, but love blossomed quickly, and together they had 4 children.
Ye Ye worked as a carpenter and later became a renovation contractor, while Ama ran a small shop selling groceries and ornamental fish. They didn't have much money or possessions, but they were happy. It was tough building a livelihood in a place far away from home, but Ye Ye never gave up, for he was fueled by the love for his family.
Ye Ye and the elders were over the moon when my parents got married in 1981. 2 years later, our older brother was born. Ye Ye and Ama were thrilled to welcome their first grandchild.
Our dad had also graduated from university, making his family proud. Those were some very happy years for Ye Ye. Sadly, in the spring of 1984, Ye Ye was diagnosed with cancer.
He always had a wish to return to his hometown and visit his family. But the application for travel visas to China was a long and difficult process back then.
And time wasn't on his side.
Ye Ye and Ama decided to visit Taiwan, a strait away from his hometown. This was the closest he'd got to fulfilling his wish.
Ye Ye and Ama boarded the plane for the very first time. That turned out to be the only overseas trip he had ever been on. On Christmas Eve that year, our Ye Ye passed away.
In 1986, Ama decided to fulfill his lifelong wish in his stead, traveling with his second aunt to Nan'an, where many of his family members still live. Ama visited Ye Ye's family once again in 1988, this time with my uncle accompanying her.
It took some 30-odd years, but our families finally reconnected.
Uncles, aunts, cousins, nieces, and nephews. Yes, my uncle, who was 6'2", he really stood out amongst his cousins.
20 years later, my parents visited for the first time. A tall, stately brick house stood where the smaller home used to be. From the photos, you can see how much development our hometown had been through.
I'm sure Ye Ye would be proud if he saw all these. So, this is the story of our family thus far. A long, winding journey from Nan'an to Singapore, filled with sacrifices, joy, tears, and above all else, love.
Now, it's our turn to connect with our family we never knew and a place we have never seen. This is the legendary hometown.
I wonder what's in store for us.